Ali McCoist insists Graeme Murty's future as Rangers manager should not hinge on the outcome of Sunday's Old Firm showdown. In the William Hill Scottish Cup semi-finals. The former Ibrox boss also believes that, regardless of who is in charge next season, they will need backed by at least 4 quality signings to make possible a challenge to Celtic's Premiership supremacy. Rangers chairman Dave King issued a statement to supporters earlier this week in which he made it clear immediate success was being sought from the club's next managerial appointment. While praising Murty's work since stepping up on a deal that runs to the end of the current campaign, King offered no guarantees about the former under-20s coach earning a longer stay in the post. McCoist admits some surprise at those comments coming ahead of the bid to end Celtic's hopes of back-to-back trebles, yet thinks King was right to stress the importance of getting the best possible man at the helm. Although gaining Rangers' first derby success in 10 attempts would be an obvious boost for Murty, McCoist argues it would be unfair to make the key call based on what happens at Hampden. The feeling seems to be that it's a defining game, and that's not necessarily correct in my opinion, said the Ibrox icon. I think you have to take a step back and look at it. Celtic are the best team in the country at present. A lot of people would expect them to win the game regardless. It's probably true that if Graeme manages to win he stands a better chance of getting the job. But it would be wrong, in my opinion, to judge the man over one game. Any fair-minded person would look at his overall performance, which I think has been good. His signings have been good. There has certainly been an improvement in terms of performances, although, at Rangers, you are only ever one game away from a crisis. Losing to Celtic, losing to Kilmarnock was not ideal, but it shouldn't be as simple as to say that because of that he doesn't get the job. McCoist does, however, feel it would be better for all concerned if the Rangers board decided upon Murty's suitability before the current season comes to an end next month. I think that is only fair to everybody, he continued. I can understand it not happening just now. I get it. I think Graeme has handled himself really well both in the dugout and away from the dugout, and it is only fair to him that he knows where his future lies, whether he goes back to the boys or gets the job full-time. I think the Rangers fans deserve to know. And if it is someone else coming in, then the longer they have got it naturally makes sense. They can have a look at the squad and games. The new man might see things differently and want different players in different areas. I think the sooner it would suit all parties. I don't think a decision has already been made. It would be extremely difficult to keep it quiet. Dave King will let everyone know when the time is right what the plans to move forward will be. The timing of his statement was perhaps a little bit strange, but he hasn't said Graeme isn't getting the job. A lot of people are surmising. His comments are correct. The next appointment is absolutely vital, but that's not to say it won't be Graeme. It's difficult for me to say whether he's done enough because I don't know what the options are. What I would say is that I don't think Graeme has done his chances any harm at all. I've heard the rumors about Frank de Boer. Derek McInnes has been mentioned again, as has Alan Pardew. But I don't know what the board are thinking. In his statement, King also insisted the Rangers board intended to provide funding to aid a serious and sustained challenge next term. Asked how much Rangers needed to invest, McCoist replied, Graeme will know what his squad needs and what his team needs to develop. I think some of the signings have been good. Jamie Murphy has done well, Russell Martin has come in and been fine, Greg Docherty, I think will develop into a good player. He is still a bit raw. I wasn't against there being loan signings. I thought that was not a bad idea considering the manager had only got the job for a short period. But they certainly, absolutely, need strengthening, all over the park. It would be wrong for me to sit here and say specifically those positions, but certainly Rangers will need, I would have thought, at least 4 players if they want to challenge Celtic for the league title next year. King, via one of his trust companies, is to make an offer for the rest of the club's shareholding to end a dispute with the takeover panel, which stemmed from the boardroom takeover of 2015. McCoist, though, has no intention of parting with his own shares. It's safe to say my shares will be within my family, he said. That's the way I have always wanted it. When I'm long gone, hopefully my boys and then their boys after them will have the shares and they will go to their families. I remember Jack Gillespie, an old Rangers director, basically on his dying bed wanted to give myself and Sandy Jardine his shares. I thought that was one of the nicest things I can ever remember happening to me. That's the way it will be with me. The shares will, hopefully, be in my family for generations. Ali McCoist was speaking at a William Hill media event. William Hill is the proud sponsor of the Scottish Cup,